Welcome back, book lovers. It's Lady Lauren Explorer, and today I don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm just gonna talk about the books that I read. Great. I think today I'm just gonna talk about the books that I've read after I finish my TBR, which, if you haven't seen my TBR, you should, because you'll be surprised. But let's just get into what I literally finished almost all of them last night and then the night before. So yes, I was like on a reading, I was just reading sprints just quickly. So my first one is Able by Katie Robert. This is the first in the series of the Payne Brothers series, where the Payne Brothers, they were kicked out of their cul-de-sac or whatnot because the other kingdoms decided to invade them and kill their father and then most of the staff they had in their cul-de-sac. And then he was betrayed. Well, the Payne brothers were betrayed by Abel, who's the oldest son's best friend's father. So I think this is like 7 years later, and Eli, his ex-best friend, is now basically almost the king of the cul-de-sac that the Payne brothers were in. And the Payne brothers decide to do a revenge. They're going to take back what was rightfully theirs. And Abel fights, I think it's 6 or 7 people, in order to win corsets and brides for his brothers. And the brothers just choose the bride or the corset, which mainly is the brides. And the people that in the tournament that they fight, I don't even know if I explain this is right. In the tournament that Abel is fighting in, if you lose, then the winner gets anything that they want, basically. So they wanted brides, and then the people can't contest brides for a year. So Abel decides to take his ex-best friend's wife. And the ex-best friend is like, oh no, how about this? If I lose to you, you can take me along with, my wife. But if I win, you have to leave. Obviously, Abel wins. So this is it's almost like it's a throuple, but it's also having to do with the political climate of their area, because people don't like the Payne brothers, and they're trying to overthrow the Payne brothers with help of Eli, and then they're falling in love. So it's like a lot. I didn't really like it. It was like a mid for me. So I'm definitely not going to continue on with the series. I know that there's 3 books. There might be 4 because the 4th one hasn't came out. And it's just not for me. But it was a quick, steamy read, though. So if you like steam and like a throuple, yeah. And this is also the enemies, it's friends to enemies to lovers for Abel and Eli. And then it's just enemies to lovers for Harlow is the wife's name. So mid for me, didn't really like it, but it was, again, for the steam factor, there was not a lot of steam, which I liked. I took out my braids and I literally just blow dried it. So I'm getting my hair done next Saturday. So yes. The next one is One of Us is Lying by Karen McManus. This is about 5 teens who are going to detention. It's almost like the Breakfast Club. So these 5 teens are going to detention because they were caught with a cell phone in a lab. That they were not supposed to have cell phones in that lab at all. It's a science lab. What we find out is someone framed them because all of them didn't have the cell phone. So someone put a cell phone in their book bag and then made it to lab, and then the teacher caught them. So while we're like the 5 teens, we have Cooper, who is a jock, who's a baseball player, and he is a jock, very popular, and he is being scouted for the MLB. Yeah, I think that's how you say it. Then we have Addie, or Adeline, and she is the popular girl by association because her boyfriend is very popular. He's also a jock. Then we have Bronwyn, and Bronwyn is a goody goody two shoes. She is the what is she? Oh no, she is the almost like the valedictorian. She is known for having good grades, doesn't do anything. She's basically boring. Then we have Nate, and Nate is the stoner kid. He is a drug dealer. He's a man slut, as they call him. Then we have Simon, and Simon is the person everyone loves to hate because Simon runs this blog, almost like Gossip Girl, but like in the very bad way. He runs this blog and app where he gives out scandalous situations that are 99.9% true, or at least that's how it's claimed to be, because whenever he puts it out, either it comes out as true later on, or people just don't care about it enough. The people who he's talking about don't care about it enough to acknowledge it. And so they're all in this detention, and something happens outside. There's a car crash outside, and everyone gets distracted. And Simon takes a drink of water and starts convulsing. And we find out that there's peanut butter oil in his cup. And he's heavily allergic to peanut butter, or any peanut, I think peanuts in general. And when they find out he's convulsing, I think Cooper runs to the nurse's office to go get his EpiPens, but there's no EpiPens there at all. So he ends up dying. So now the whole school and the nation is wondering which one of these 4 students killed him, because they all had secrets that he was going to expose, and it's big. So on this one, I gave it a 4.5 because the ending, the person who killed Simon, I would have never guessed. I did not guess at all. I had 2 theories, and they were definitely not what happened. And then it was a lot. It almost reminded me of like how a real life school murder would happen, because they all became either famous or loved to hate famous because of it. And it was just like, it was so good. So good. And some of the secrets weren't that bad, I guess. But this was a very quick read. I literally started it, and then I started it at 4, and then I finished it at 6:30-ish because it was so good. So yeah, a 4.5 for me. Like that. Not least is Kindred, the graphic novel by Octavia Butler and Damien Huff and John Jennings. I've heard about this book a lot, especially on like when people do Blackathon or when you're reading for Black History Month. I knew that I wasn't going to read the actual book. So I was like, I'll just do the adaptation and make it easier for me. And yeah, so I can't explain the way it made me feel. That's basically how I feel. I can't explain it. I got really sick to my stomach in some instances, very queasy. And I can't even rate this because it's just not something I should rate, if you get what I mean. Like, I shouldn't rate this. But yeah. I'm glad I did not read the book because some of the stuff that was happening, I would probably DNF'd it. It was a lot to take in. It was a lot to take in. And I wasn't prepared for it. But yeah, it's crazy. But anyways, this follows, actually, I don't even want to ruin it. Like, I think you should just go into this graphic novel with, like, nothing. Like, you should just read it. Because I've heard of the book. I've never read the synopsis of it, and no one's ever told me the synopsis of it. But I've always seen it on, like, when Black History Month comes around, people like to read the novel. But I always skip past it when they tell me, like, what happens. Like, it's about a person who all of a sudden ends up back in the South during slavery times. And once I had figured that out, I was like, okay, well, I still feel like reading that. But when I got the graphic novel, because it was cheap, I was like, you know what? It's a graphic novel. It's quick and easy. It's not a book. Let me just go ahead and read it. And I did. I finished it in an hour. And I sat in my bed for another hour, just like contemplating why I read it and why I was feeling sick. Yeah. Very eye-opening for myself. So I don't even know what to say. You should definitely jump into this without reading a synopsis and just fly by it. But I'm pretty sure that in the long run, I'm kind of glad that I read it. It's just right now, I don't feel like I was ready to read it. I don't even know. It was just a lot for me. How about that? It was just a lot. And I was not prepared for what was about to happen to my psyche as I was reading this. So there's that. What I'm reading right now, besides my November TBR, is Mary Hart's The Kissing Game. Emery Lee Meet Cute Diary. Witches Steeped in Gold by Cinnamon Smart. And then The Witch King by H.E. Eggman. I'm reading this for a read-along with Rainbow Crate. So I'm actually kind of behind, but I'm going to be catching up today. So yes. Well, that is it for what I've read and what I'm currently reading besides my November TBR. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you made it this far, if you made it this far, give me the cheers, the congratulations emoji, a little megaphone. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye.